Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome back to Old Man Farm. My name is Sid, as always. We're going to be doing something a little different today. Not visually, but I'll still be bumbling around Pelican Town, but audibly, I am actually only going to record a little bit of an intro here and an outro, and then the rest I will be adding in when I edit this, because I went to the zoo yesterday, and I have a lot of pictures and a few videos and things to share with you guys. So, yeah, I don't know what order they're going to go up in, or necessarily all of what I even have. So I figured it was the most efficient way would be just to shut up and go that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get harvesting, and I guess really is nothing going to change on your end. I'll talk to you in 2 seconds. Bye. Hey, thanks for the intro, past Sid. So, as I said, I went to the Cleveland Zoo, and if you've never been, it is, I feel like, at least as far as Ohio goes, or at least the zoos I've been to, it's fairly large, and I have a season pass, and I chose Cleveland because, although most zoos in America reciprocate season passes to, like, you can get 50% off tickets at like any zoo. I wanted the free trips to Cleveland because it's a little bit of a trek for me, but they have elephants and bears and rhinos. I'm not so into primates, but they have pretty nice primate exhibit, which I may have some pictures of, but I don't know, they kind of creep me out a little bit. The little tiny monkeys that don't look at all or really behave very human-like don't bother me, but I don't really mess with the big apes, like the gorillas and stuff. And the orangutan, they I don't know, they weird me out a little bit. But anyway, the zoo is divided into a big rainforest dome, and then the zoo proper. And they're not attached to each other, but they're just across the street from each other. And I really, really like the rainforest. So we ended up going there first. And they have this area you can walk in where there'll just be birds hanging out. And they're free flying, so you gotta be careful of that. I think there was porcupines in there, but I didn't really get anything good with them. But there were capybaras, as you can see. But after that, I found what may be, and I've been here a lot, but this guy, I think I'm officially, he's up there. He's probably my second favorite animal after every bear ever. And it's called a binturong, I think is how that's said. And it's like a big cat, but a raccoon. I loved him. I thought he was great. Really, really into this guy. Real chill. I don't know much about it, but yeah. And after that, there's a big area, like I said, with the orangutans, and they kind of creep me out. So I went and looked at the otters, because otters are great, and we all know it. But they were all, mind you, we were there pretty early, so they most of the animals at this point were still fairly docile. They weren't doing a whole lot, but no big deal. Like I said, I've seen these guys before, but they, anything otters do is cute, let's be real. But after the rainforest, as I stated yesterday, the big reason I wanted to go to the Cleveland Zoo today was because they just opened a new bear exhibit, bunch of big old bear enclosures, and it's a pretty massive setup. And when we got there, it sort of has this it's almost like a circular or semicircular area that they can go in and out of, where they have different, like, rooms, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's outdoors, so it's not rooms, but you know what I'm saying, different, like, areas. And they had an Andean bear from South America, and they had a sloth bear, both of which were just chilling. So I didn't actually spend a whole lot of time. sort of checked out the enclosure and saw what they were doing, but they were sleepy, so pretty much left them to their own devices. But while I was up there, that leads into their Asia section, and there are tigers who again were sleeping, and they sleep up in these big perches. So you're right underneath them, which I'm always afraid to stand underneath them because I feel like they're gonna pee on me. I don't know what that says about me, but oh, and there was rhinos. We passed the rhinos on the way there. There were giraffes, zebras, although I didn't really go over and see the zebras. But they also have red pandas. They have red pandas, and they were looking like they were probably a little bit toasty. You know, they were little on the overheated side, but I suppose that's, to be fair. They're from China, but I don't even know what part of China to know what the climate would be like where they're from, but still very, very cute. Then there is an area that is, I sort of describe it as the America exhibit because it has wolves, and then it has an area where, so the wolf enclosure is large. It is, I feel like it's one of the larger enclosures, oddly enough, but to be fair, I think they have like 5 or 6 wolves in there, and they have a big pond inside their enclosure, and it's filled with various fish. There are a couple of beavers, and they have a cutaway where you can see inside their den, and like you can see they go up underneath, the water and stuff. Super cool. There's a bald eagle in there too, but I don't think I got a picture of him. But yeah, so then after North America, let's see, what did we do next? I think, yeah, after North America, we ended up by the Australia area, and they have a little they have a little train that you can ride, and I've done it a bunch of times, but it's fun, whatever. It's like $5 for 2 people. Get on the train, ride around, and it takes you around, and you can see most of the animals, but so we saw there were wallabies and kangaroos, and I think there was a wallaroo or whatever it's called. Saw a kookaburra. Again, I don't think I got a picture of the kookaburra, but there was a petting zoo as well, and my partner was very excited about that. I would have been, but I am, amongst everything else, this is the first of 2 allergies you're going to hear about today. I am really allergic to hay. I could never have been a farmer in real life, so I didn't go in the petting zoo area, like the actual, and pet the little goats and the alpacas and such. I just sort of, that was like, it's not worth me having itchy eyes and breaking out in hives the rest of the day, just to go pet a goat, as much as I wanted to, and they were very cute, making a lot of noises. But after that, I guess you should say before the petting zoo, we noticed the wallabies, and again, this freaked my partner out, so I think she just sort of took off. We didn't get a picture of it, but I was carrying a grocery bag that I bought some popcorn in, because my mom really likes popcorn, and there's a company that vends at the Cleveland Zoo that she specifically likes. But I got up, so I had a bag of that, and it was in a grocery bag, and I'm a very anxious person, I don't know if you could tell, and so I was holding the bag and just sort of shaking it a little bit, like bouncing it, and she was like, hey, I think they're like all looking at, and I look up, and sure enough, there's like a dozen wallabies and kangaroos, and they're all just they're standing up to look at me. Like it was kind of creepy. I thought it was pretty cool, but yeah. So the shaky bag thing, well, that leads into, we go to see the dingoes, and I love the dingoes because they're just cute dogs. I know apparently they're dangerous, but like they're just cute dogs. They don't look like a wolf or something like that. They look just like a dog that would be in someone's backyard. I joke that my brother's dog looks like a dingo. I mean, she really does. But anyway, I was again shaking the bag, not thinking about it, and he walked straight up to the fence. Like right there, like within arm's reach. And I kind of felt bad. I was like, damn, I'd give you some popcorn, but pretty sure they frown on that. But anyway, on the way out, speaking of getting close, we saw an area where you could like insert a quarter and it would drop feed pellets out to the elephants, and they just happened to be, one of them happened to be right up front there. So we threw a couple of quarters in. There were some kids got to come in and see it too, like, so that was super cool. And yeah, they was right up on it. The glass is, pretty muddy because it's such a dry, well, not muddy, dirty because it's such a dry enclosure, but try to get some video of it. It's super cool. I love elephants. I mean, what is not to love about elephants? They are just, I don't know, they're majestic. Is there a better word than majestic for elephants? But yeah, and as we were walking away, there were two just sort of peeping at us, which is pretty funny. So then we headed up to, they call it the Primates, Big Cats, and Aquarium, or Aquatics, or something like that. Again, this is where the gorillas, and they have a new baby gorilla. Well, I'll say new. It's been around for over a year. It's over a year old, but anyway, they were all outside, all the gorillas, so didn't get to see the gorillas. Oh, excuse me, I yawned. I guess I could have cut that out, but we're rolling forward. They had an area where there was no light, it was just red lights, and they had bush babies and an eye, but it's really hard to get pictures of them. This bush baby picture was the only thing my partner could really get that looked decent. And what else was there? I know there was the aquarium area, and listen, I'm one of those people, I love the water if I can see what's in it, right? I don't like going to public pools because the people's hygiene disgusts me. But like, I don't like not being able to see what's in the water. It freaks me out. And then you see some of these things that live like, like deep down. Like there's one fish, can't remember what it's called, like a walking something. It looks like a Pokemon, for God's sake. And then there was this thing that looks like just like a floating piece of coral. And the way it moved, it was like, how like a stick bug moves in such a way that it mimics like a stick moving in the wind. Well, this thing did that, but for like reef trash blowing on the seafloor. It was very interesting. And then there was these rockfish, and I'm not kidding you, I didn't see them. I literally did not see them. It said there were 3 in the tank, and they had to be pointed out to me. I didn't, all the algae on them and such, oh man, forget about it. I couldn't see them until, they were pointed out, and then I found all 3 relatively quickly. But it was scary, and like I guess they have big poison barbs that you can step on. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. And yeah, I don't know. So anyway, we got through the whole zoo that way. After the aquarium, I feel like I'm probably forgetting some things, but, overall, whatever. We went to the gift shop, got a few things, got a coffee mug and stuff, and got a Bavarian pretzel at one point, because why not? Need a pretzel and cheese. They say Bavarian. I don't know what makes it Bavarian. Anyway, we then went to the sushi place. And as I said, I had never been to a revolving sushi joint, and it's apparently the first one in Ohio. I don't know if it's still the only one, but it's the first one. And it was, and I assumed it would be, but it was relatively small. I liked that. There were 6 tables down the center, and then on each side there was like a strip, like bar seating. And so we sat down, and you just start grabbing food that comes by, and they have a little label, for the pricing and like what is each, because like the pink plates are raw. I think the red plates were raw, but they were like more expensive types of sushi, cooked things, vegetarian things. They had big like mochi, like dessert. You know, they had seaweed salad, miso soup. So we got all kinds of things, but we got a bunch of different sushis that I liked, and the one I couldn't find because they have a menu, but you know, in case you wanted to order something specific, and I was looking and I could not find this item on there, but it was like, you know, it had salmon in it, but it had on top, it was a pretty normal roll inside, but on top it had shredded crab, and then on top of that it had seaweed salad, and I could not find what this roll was, but I was super into it. I got a couple of plates of it. It was delicious. I got takoyaki, which, if you're not familiar, is like a fried squid ball. There's squid on the inside. It's a little, you know, little confection kind of, and it's got you know, I think it has eel sauce on it, and then it has I believe it's called bonito flakes. Is that what that is? Where it's like shaved dried fish. So, and it's smoked, so it's very smoky. They were absolutely delicious. I love them. Oh, I said I was going to mention a secondary allergy. Well, I tried this mango pudding. Looked delicious, smelled delicious, and it tasted delicious. But I took a small bite and kind of gave it a second, and my throat definitely started to swell, and my lips started tingling because, as I said, I am allergic to a lot of fruits, but I couldn't tell you the last time I had mango, or if I've ever had fresh mango. And this was enough that it you know, could I have eaten more of it? Probably, but if you've ever had your throat start to itch and swell and your breathing get at all belabored, it's not fun. So it's definitely something I try to avoid if at all possible. Yeah, it was really cool. It was you know, and they had the thing where, like, certain items they would just put on the plate, they'd put a sign, you'd take the sign, and then that would cause the actual like people cooking to make whatever it was. So like I wanted some eel, and so they made that custom because there was none out, which I thought was pretty cool because I absolutely love eel. But anyway, so if you get 15 plates, and here's our stack, I think we hit 16 or 17, I forget. You get a little token, and you take it over to this little gotcha machines, and you put it in, and you get a little toy, or, you know, whatever. And I didn't get anything cool like any of this stuff. I got a tape measure that said yummy on it, but and it had like some little Japanese like condiment container on it. It was weird, but yeah. Then after that, went to Swenson's because it was on the way out to get a drink, because they have these really tasty drinks that I swear it's just 7-Up and orange Fanta, but it's delicious. but yeah, that was our day. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna go ahead and let Past Sid continue. So thanks for listening. All right. I hope anything I rambled on about for the last, 20 minutes has been interesting. I realized we completely spaced on Faye's birthday. Also, spaced on the fact that I've been supposed to be getting stoned this whole time. But I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we were actually very efficient today because I was not paying attention to flapping my yap. So I'm okay with it. I think this was a good catch-up day. We got, caught up on mayonnaise. The fields look nice. It's looking good. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little trip through the Cleveland Zoo with me. It was a spectacular day, and that sushi place was, the novelty alone was excellent. It was very fun. So I had a good time, and I hope you did too. But either way, I appreciate you hanging out. Be good to each other. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.